Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. Psalm 126 is a psalm that gives us a picture of what it feels like when once a sorrow, once a difficulty or a hardship is over. Uh, it brings out a time in which Israel had been oppressed, led captive, but then brought back to Zion. And this could be several instances within their history. It doesn't really pinpoint when exactly this is, even in David's reign. With Absalom coming in and taking over Jerusalem and then David returning. It could be talking about that, or other times when they had to deal with enemies. But when it happened isn't necessarily important, as what happened is important. It talks about the time when God's people were able to return back to Zion and the great overflow of emotion that came with that. It says, we were like those who dream. Then our mouths were filled with laughter and our tongue was with joyful shouting. Just this idea of just overwhelming joy. Our mouths filled with laughter. Our tongue with joyful shouting. And it concludes with this: those who sow in tears shall reap with joyful shouting. And he who goes to and fro weeping, carrying his bag of seed, shall indeed come again with a shout of joy, bringing his sheaves with him. So a person who is dealing with hardship, trials, difficulties, perhaps there's sorrow and weeping that takes place. It's like planting a harvest. It's like a sower sowing the seed that one day will bring forth a bountiful harvest. And even though this may be talking about a specific historical incident with Israel, we can see that this is true of us as well. In our day and age, there is a lot of hardship and difficulty. A lot of us have dealt with maybe the loss of loved ones, the sickness of loved ones recently. There's international things going on. It's just all around the world, there's hardship and difficulty. And even in people's personal lives, there's a lot of burdens to carry. And it can be overwhelming sometimes when we think about the sorrow and the hardship that we're undergoing. But this psalm reassures us. It shows us that sorrow, difficulty, hardship will come to an end. And actually, the sorrow and hardship and difficulty that we endure now will produce a harvest of joy later. That if we remain faithful to the Lord, dedicated to the Lord, even underneath the hardship and the difficulty, under the burdens of these hardships and difficulties, that will produce a wonderful thing for us. Paul talked about it in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, where he says that this momentary light affliction is producing for us an eternal weight of glory. There's a great harvest that will be reaped, and it will be taken in and enjoyed by us who have perhaps lived a life of sorrow and sown this harvest of tears. It will be a joyful time. And what a wonderful day that will be. When we're dealing with hardships and difficulties today, it does help for us to look beyond these sufferings and to realize that one day they're going to come to an end. One day there is going to be joy. One day there is going to be laughter and just happiness beyond anything we can understand. Just bliss beyond compare. And if we can keep that in mind and remember that that's where the Lord is taking us, it can encourage us for today. Maybe it would help for you to remember maybe times where you were going through a hard time. You thought things weren't going to work out, when you thought that it was the end of the world because of some type of difficulty you're dealing with. But then the solution came, and not only a solution came, but something very good came out of it. And the joy that came with that's just a small glimpse of what we'll experience when when Christ returns again, and then the resurrection, death is eliminated, and the new heavens and the new earth come in, and we're able to dwell with God forever and be in his direct presence, which is typified here by Zion. What a wonderful day that will be. And all of our sorrows, all of our hardships will be like water under the bridge. It'll be things that we endured back then, but we will for eternity be able to enjoy the wonderful things that God has prepared for us. So let's be encouraged today. Maybe you have a difficult day today. Maybe you have difficult days coming up. Remember, with the difficult days, good days are coming. And we're going to have a whole lot more good days than we've had bad days. Because we're going to have eternity to enjoy all the good things that God has prepared for us. So with that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.